The Hunter Brothers proudly present Hunting for Funny.
Hello folks, and welcome to episode 12 of Hunting for Funny. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jack, and we're on a quest to find the funny in life.
Yes, we are always on that quest, that never-ending goddamn quest to find all the funny bits amongst all the sad bits. But you know what? They're getting funnier sometimes.
Absolutely.
So how you doing, Jack? You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright, thanks. Yeah,
Good.
doing alright. It's been a busy week, actually.
What have you been up to?
I've been training, as always.
Nice.
I should do this my job, but I've been training.
You'd hope you were doing your job.
So driving's going well.
Yes, good, I'm glad.
Did some. I passed my theory test. Why haven't I told you? I passed my theory test.
You did.
So...
I'm so happy. I was wondering when you were going to bring it up. It's past it. Step one, folks. The little lad's growing up.
I was nervous about this. So I don't know if it is in other countries, but there's two tests in England. So we have the theory test, which is like the road signs and positioning and hazard perception and all that stuff.
It's the exam side of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the written exam side.
Yeah, and then we have like the practical, which is obviously a driving test. So I did theory test, and you can get 43 out of 50, and I managed to get 43. So I got the borderline, but we don't worry about that.
Good enough. We get that's all you need.
But to be fair though, I was practicing the questions the night before on the app. I've been doing loads of revision for it.
Yeah.
And I was passing it, but I think the wording's funny, so sometimes you've got to read it for it. And I would know the answers if you showed it me. It's just that the wording's a bit funny, but yeah, I was made up and passed it. I celebrated in a bit too loud in the test centre.
God.
It was like this dithering old lady that was she was really, really nice.
Yeah.
She said, go in, check your licence, all that sort of stuff, do it. Click the last question. She came in beaming. She's like, do you want your results? And I was like, yeah. And she shows you the paper, and she doesn't say like pass or fail. She just shows you the paper.
Right.
And I just went, yes, get in, like dead loud.
Oh no, poor lady.
So whoever's doing the test behind me must have just got it right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or they just maybe they lost a bit of bottle. They're like, oh no.
Yeah.
All the luck's been used today.
I'll tell you what happened in training as well. My backrest snapped on my table tennis chair.
Oh no!
So like when I was leaning on it, it just broke. So like I was basically sitting on a stool, like I nearly fell out my chair.
Yeah.
So me and my coach have like duct taped it up, so just until I can get it fixed next week.
There's nothing that duct tape can't fix.
Exactly.
I once had a strip of duct tape on my car for a year.
First
Good story.
Well, we've duct taped it, and I messaged the wheelchair company guy.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a new chair with Matsunaga. Shout out to the wheelchair company.
Yeah.
So they've said they'll help me sort out my table tennis chair.
Right.
But I'll text him saying, "Oh, can we sort this out?" I sent him some pictures of it and stuff. And I said, "Oh, I've fixed it, but I've managed to duct tape it."
Yeah.
My phone autocorrected the duct raped it.
Why is duct rape in your dictionary? That's my question.
No idea.
The hell have you been Googling? I know everyone's got a kink, but that's proper like Rule 34 stuff.
So I told this guy that I've only known about a week that I've duct raped my wheelchair.
Hey, do what you got to do. You've got to get that hustle on somewhere. If you're trying to get that extra bit of cheddar, you got to do what you got to do.
How's your week been? All right.
It's been all right, yeah. It's been a good week for technology. There was a big PS5, big PlayStation 5 showcase yesterday, which was really good. I was waiting for it. It's why we didn't record yesterday as well when you offered. Because it was at like 9 o'clock. It would have clashed. Can't be having things clashing. What's going on? Yeah. So we sat there with the projector on, waiting to watch this thing, and I noticed something weird about like because I use a projector when I'm playing games.
Yeah.
Because Charlie uses the TV for like curry and all that shit, and I use a projector for the real stuff. And so it's up on the wall, and I was like, "There's something weird about the screen. Like it almost looked like there was a crack on the screen. Like, but this isn't a screen, so there isn't a crack on it. Like, what the hell's going on?" And I noticed it was wobbling like crazy, like sort of shimmering. It's like, what the fuck is this? There was a spider web inside my projector.
Oh wow! How's that happened?
When the projector's like spinning around, because it works by like spinning mirrors. That's how it projects. Whilst it's doing that, it's like blowing the wind on this web. Because the projector's got like lots of like side grating for cooling it down.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it must have crawled in there.
Bloody hell.
You've gone tiny on the video. What's going on?
Oh, look at me.
You're changing sizes. You've jumped quality as well. Look at that.
Shapeshifter.
Look at that, folks. He's changed quality as well as bloody internet connection. That's what that is.
I'm always quality.
Anyway, so we watched the PS5 thing, and it was really good. Some great looking games coming out, which I'm very, very excited about. And then they announced the price as well, which we've been waiting for ages. So they announced the price, and it was better than we expected, which is good. So it was $450.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, it was $450, which I was expecting $550.
That's reasonable.
It's not bad. I mean, it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong; it's definitely a lot of money.
No,
But-
but it's reasonable, isn't it?
Yeah, for the next gen console, I was expecting sort of 6, maybe 7. Because
I was thinking, yeah,
a lot of
touching
stuff in it.
1,000 sometimes,
Yeah.
but when you get the top spec, like,
Yeah, they get pretty advanced. But no, they've got
Wowzers.
2 versions. They've got one with a disc drive and one without. Because a lot of people are going digital only these days, and it's a cheaper version for people who can't afford like the full disc version.
yeah.
Whereas we like to get the discs because then you can sell them when you finish with them.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
you can
usually
get
cheaper
money
to
back
get
on
as
them.
well because like digital games don't really change in price much unless there's a sale.
Yeah.
on. Like you can buy a game now that when it was out was 40 quid and now is 40 quid and it's been 4 years. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Whereas you can go to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
CX or Game or whatever, get a pre-owned one. Or
Yeah,
even
yeah,
a new
maybe.
one, it won't be as expensive anymore. So we like to have
They're
a
the
disc
b-
drive.
They were the best sort of days. And you used to go when you were younger and go to like game stations
Yeah.
and look through the
Get the 4 for
the old
20.
games and find like a dodgy old game
Yeah.
they're not played before. Like they're the best ones.
It
Like
was the best. Yeah, exactly. When you're just stumbling across stuff. Funnily enough, I did that once to discover a game called Demon Souls, which is getting a
Okay.
PS5 remake. So it was on the showcase yesterday. And I found that game, fell in love with it, told my whole class about it, and then everyone got obsessed with it. It was great.
nice.
But yeah, so that was really good to watch that showcase. Oh god, it's gone big again,
What's
folks.
going on with my
We're
head
so
here?
professional today. Right, this might keep
Jesus.
happening. I apologise in advance. This happens when Jack's internet connection's been a bit shitty. Right, we're back. Tech issues aside. Oh, it's gone bigger again.
Oh, we've got.
The very fucking second we come back. All right, folks, listen, it's going to be a weird one today. This is just how it is.
This is brilliant.
This is so professional.
I feel like I'm a weird 90s dance video going on here.
You are. You are a bit. All right, let's leave it like that. See what happens. Please
Right.
be nice, computer. Stay as you're supposed to. Sorry for you folks watching this on YouTube. For you folks who listen to the audio, you're going to be very confused. In
Yeah.
the video, Jack's head keeps changing sizes because his internet connection keeps kind of dropping a bit and it changes the size of the video.
And
Anyway.
not because I'm gloating, just because it's like the
Yeah, he's not
visual,
just getting
not
more
'cause I'm-
big-headed by
yeah.
the second. Although
Not
he
an
is.
arrogant bastard, but-
That is true as well. But yeah, I was talking about the PlayStation 5 when so yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
And today there was they announced some people were going to be taking pre-orders yesterday, like last
Yeah.
night. So just before bed, like Game released the pre-order thing. It was like, oh, let's
Yeah.
pre-order it now. And I started pre-ordering it, and then they had a problem where they wouldn't let people log into their accounts. And Charlie was saying, we're going to get a shitload of points buying this because you get like points to use as credit.
Yeah.
So she was like, if you can't log in, don't get it now. Get it in the morning. When that's working again, you can get loads of points. It's like, okay, cool, we'll leave that. So I wake up this morning, go straight onto it, and they're completely sold out.
Oh,
So it's
God.
like, son of a bitch. So I had a look around, and there's a bunch of different UK retailers that do it, like, you know, Amazon and
Yeah.
stuff. But Amazon, they're meant to start at like 9 in the morning. So I was there refreshing for like 20 minutes, and there's
Yeah.
nothing for ages. And then eventually, finally, it came through, and I managed to get my pre-order. And I was
Oh,
so happy.
perfect.
I was so happy because
Yeah.
this like the new generation of consoles is just one of the
Yeah.
most exciting times to me.
Absolutely. It doesn't happen that often as well. It's not like
no, not at all,
iPhones
yeah.
that come out every year and
No,
stuff. It
not
comes,
at all. The last PlayStation was 2013, I think.
Bloody hell, I didn't know it was that long
seven,
ago.
Yeah, it's 7 years ago. It's a really strong
Wowzers.
platform.
So what's the bonuses of the new PlayStation? I've got a PS4, but I don't know the ins and outs of it.
Well, without boring you with details, it's just way more powerful.
Yeah.
And it can do a lot more at the same time, if that makes sense. So your games
Right.
over the years are going to look way better. Like if,
Oh,
you,
so it's like okay.
if you look at the PS4, also like loading times and stuff, loading screens are going to be a thing of the past.
Really?
Yeah, it's just straight into the action. So
So when I want to take a piss when I'm playing games, though.
you just pause.
Oh no, you've got to literally time yourself. You've got to like give yourself a challenge.
I
surely.
can't say I've ever used a loading bar
What?
as a pissometer.
Of course you have.
No, I've
Like
not.
GTA or the old school games where you used to load.
To be
and
fair,
it took around
GTA
2
takes a
minutes,
while
yeah.
to load. You can do it with that probably.
It's about 14 hours downloading the game.
Yeah, Warzone. Yeah, no, see that downloads might still be a bit slow. It's depending on the internet, but loading the game should be quick. So that shouldn't be an
Oh,
issue.
wow.
But yeah, like it looks really good. I'm super excited about it, and I'm sad that a lot of people can't get them at the moment, and people are complaining as well because Sony have said that some of their first party games, you know, like made by Sony,
Yeah.
they're going to be like 70 quid, which
Ooh.
it's expensive for a game, but at the same time, game prices haven't really changed in like 15 years. So
Yeah.
even to go with like inflation or whatever. So it's about time they had a bit of a jump up because the development costs have definitely gone up. Like
Yeah.
what's expected to be in a game now compared to 15 years ago. There's so much more manpower involved. There's so much more.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So much more expensive software needed to make the things that work. You know, so they've got to recoup the money. And I get the industry's been doing really well, and that's what's pissing people off. I think is that in a year where people have got less money than normal, they're like, let's charge more. But
Yeah.
I think it's just because it kind of just
Bad
has to be
timing,
that
really,
way.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's just bad
Yeah.
timing. It was always going to be that
I think
way.
I think like the price of the world's getting high, don't it? Like the price of everything's just going dead high. Like Liverpool brought the new kit out, and I thought, you know what, I might get myself a new Liverpool top.
Yeah.
Like, guess how much the Liverpool top is?
Just a t-shirt part.
Just the t-shirt part, yeah.
45, 50?
90. Try 90.
90 quid for a t-shirt.
That's what I said as well.
What
you
the
can buy
fuck?
one that's like 90, that's got like the Premiership one, or you can buy one for
Yeah.
like 70 odd, that's like the replica one. I'm thinking,
So
no, I'm alright.
which footballer comes in the t-shirt wearing it to
Exactly,
your house when you buy it? I was going to say
Because it's
Emil
Nike,
Heskey
but
then.
like, I don't
Would that be a
know
bad
what you
example?
want me to do with it, like that information, whether it's Nike or whether it's not Nike, it's still fucking expensive. So
Yeah,
what do you want?
exactly,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to buy it.
No, that's just insane. I don't
Same
agree
with
that at all.
basketball tops. I watch a lot of the NBA. Houston Rockets are my
yeah.
team, so I thought, you know what, I might buy myself a jersey.
Nice.
Same prices, absolutely extortionate. So
No,
I
know what
did
you
try and
mean.
buy a black one off Amazon, but it didn't turn out.
Yeah. No.
I thought full kit 30 quid, I'll take that. But yeah,
Was it like a child's one when it arrived?
It turned up from China about 6 months after I ordered it, and it
like a
said
flight.
hand wash only. So if you
Oh,
put in the
God.
washing machine, it just shrinks.
That's always a good sign, isn't it? Yeah, it's nice official sportswear when you have to hand wash it. No, I know what you mean. Like when I'm like when the way you follow NBA, I follow Japanese baseball.
Okay.
I'm a fan of the Yomiuri Giants, which is like the Tokyo
Yeah.
team. And when I went there, I went to the Tokyo Dome where they play, and they have a big merch store.
Yes.
And all I wanted was a cap and a jersey. It's like, that's it. I
Yeah,
just want a
exactly,
cap. I just
yeah.
want a jersey. And the first time I went, they had no caps. It's like,
Really?
it's a baseball cap. It's what it's called.
Yeah.
They had the solid plastic
the
ones.
place it should be.
Yeah, they had the solid plastic like batter hats with the ear cover.
Oh yeah.
They were
you
like
don't need
200
them.
quid. It's like, well, I
Can't
don't
walk
need
around
that.
England with one of them on.
Yeah, I'd probably
Go
be
a
a
bit
bit safer, but yeah, I don't need one of them. So I was like, I just want a baseball cap.
Yeah.
So I didn't have it. So I ended up getting my jersey, which is good, and I got it with my favorite
good.
player, who bloody
Yeah.
typically my favorite player. I got the feckin' jersey after wanting it forever, and then in between our first and second trip, which was like 6
Yeah.
months, the bastard left the team. So I'm here. I'm here. We finally got my jersey with Chono number 7 on the back. I bought my Chono pens with his face on it, and he bloody left. So yeah, because there's also a Japanese wrestler called Chono, so it helps me remember the names.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I got that, and then the second time I went back, I got the cap. Finally, they had them in stock, and I had my first proper nerve-wracking moment dealing with staff in Japan, because I try to do everything in Japanese if I can when I'm there.
Yeah,
It's only
yeah.
polite to at least try, and they appreciate that you're trying.
Yeah.
So I went in and got my cap, and I came outside, and Charlie was sat outside already because she was warm or something. So I went and sat with her. I was like, I've got my cap, and I put it on, and I put it on the biggest setting, and it was brain-crushingly small. It's like, oh fuck! So it's like, what is going on? I've wanted this for so long. Like, I was so disappointed last time I didn't have it, and it cost like, I think it was 45 quid for a cap. But you know,
Bloody
like
hell.
in the moment, you're like, I need this. I've just wanted this
exactly.
one
It's
thing
probably-
forever.
Money's no object.
Yeah,
You just want
exactly.
it, yeah.
You're on holiday. You've got your holiday pot. Whatever you spend that day, you've spent. That's
Yeah.
it. And I spent
Absolutely,
it on a cap. So yeah, I was like, this is wrong. And I looked at the label, and I was like, it doesn't say anything like about being kids or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went back into the shop, holding it up. I like to make sure people know I'm not stealing. So I made sure it was very clear that I was holding it whilst walking in, like on the cameras, like hello label, holding it whilst walking in. And I walked over to where the hats were, nothing, no hands down, holding it up. And I'm looking at the hats, and yeah, there was 2 rows of kid sizes and 2 rows of adult sizes. I just hadn't seen that. So I grabbed one of the adult ones, and I went over to the counter, and I was like, oh, I don't even know how to start saying, I've bought the wrong shit, can you fix it for me? So I was just like, this, kids, I'm not a kid. I need adults.
My
Swap.
head's too fast.
Yeah, head, okie desho. So that means big.
I've just got images of you walking around Japan with this hat balanced on top of your head because you're too nervous to go back and get that.
I almost did that. Honestly, I already said to Charlie, it's fine, I'll just deal with it. And then I could feel the pulse in my earlobes. I was like, I've not even been wearing this for 10 seconds. This is going to be bad. So yeah, I thought I had to go and take it back. So I took it back anyway.
Oh, God.
We got it sorted eventually. And then I was walking around with I put my jersey straight on over my t-shirt. I put my cap on, and I'm walking
Nice.
around. And in Japan, they don't really wear the jerseys much. It's more like like they do on like match days maybe, but it's not like here where people just wear a Liverpool top.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around, and there's a few Japanese guys who saw me like, Yomiuri Giants, yes. Like
Oh.
Chono, yeah.
Nice.
So I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that because I obviously look like a complete dickhead to them. Like who's the thing as a baseballer or something, walk around in like a half kit. But I was having a good time. It was a nice cool top, and I needed a cap because
Yeah.
I'm bald and stuff. So yeah, it was that was good.
When I went to Tokyo, I was in Shibuya.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it Shibuya? Am I saying that right?
Shibuya.
Shibuya.
Yeah,
Shibuya.
You've got to say
with the crossing.
Shibuya.
We walked past, like, it was in the daytime and there's music blaring out of a shop.
Yeah.
And there was a guy standing there. It was Linkin Park, numb. Just blaring out of the shop.
That's
so I
so
just started, I wasn't belting it out, but I was singing along and the guy was like, you know this song? And I was like, yeah. I'm English. He's like, oh man. Like, I looked so excited.
I love moments like that.
The Japanese are such nice people.
They really
Absolutely
are.
love
Like,
them.
the majority, anyway. Yeah, like it's obviously
Yeah.
they've got a few bad eggs, but majority of people there that you meet, they're pretty sound, or at least they
Yeah.
pretend to be, and that's good enough for me.
I went a night out in Japan on a Friday night,
Oh, man,
and
that
there
must
was
be insane.
crowds and crowds of people,
Yeah.
but no noise. It was
Yeah.
weird. Like, there was literally no drunken noise.
Do you mean there was
And we
order?
see- yeah, there was order. People were civil. I seen a fight, like a drunken fight, but it wasn't really a fight. It was like two mates, and they were really like stumbling along.
Yeah.
One of them rugby tackles the other one. They're shouting at each other.
Yeah.
He gets on top of him, about to punch him, he just slaps him on the face. They just like slapped him
Yeah,
on the
it's
cheek.
more like a jackass situation than an actual
the one
fight.
on the floor started crying, and then they both got up, shook hands, and just carried on walking hand in hand.
Oh,
It's
God.
like, what is going on here? In England, you'd be ringing the police, but like then
Yeah.
it was just like, I can't punch him. I'm gonna have to slap him.
Yeah. No, did I tell you about when I was in Shibuya and it was Halloween?
Yeah, but you dressed up as.
I dressed up as
what was it?
Pikachu in a vampire outfit.
That's the one. Yeah.
That was fun. I wasn't gonna wear the vampire outfit on top because I was just gonna wear like a Pikachu onesie, but the way it fit made it look like I had a massive vagina. So
Nice.
I had to. I mean, I've only got a nice petite one, so I had to put I had to put the Dracula pants on, which basically look like white sweatpants, like black sweatpants. But yeah, just wandering around, dressed like a Pikachu and a vampire, which was
God.
awesome.
How you even been arrested in Japan? I've absolutely no idea from
it's
the kids'
fine,
clothing
it's
on.
fine. It wasn't kids' clothing; it was an adult Pikachu onesie. I bought that shit off Amazon and it stunk.
Oh, your fat fanny hanging out.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I do, man. You gotta live free. Don't let the rules constrict you. But yeah, so we were in Shibuya. We're going towards, like, they have a big, massive Halloween meetup there,
Oh yeah.
but it's like shoulder to shoulder, all the way for miles, literally miles.
Yeah.
Even the crossing is mental. But as soon as we walked out the station, I almost got knocked out by a massive black guy. Because there's a lot of people in like bars and stuff in the area,
Yeah.
and they hire a lot of like immigrants and people like that, to try and get to come to the bar for free.
Yeah.
Whereas you get in there and then usually there's like it's free drinks, but then it's a service charge of like $4,000.
Okay. Yeah. I know what
So
mean.
you
Yeah.
get like fully
Yeah.
scanned.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys were having a proper like fisty fight.
Bloody hell.
But obviously I hadn't seen this. I'm like, oh my god, it's Shibuya the first time. Like I'm fully lost. And then there's this guy getting shoved right in front of me. Like, what the fuck was that? So, but that same night, it's Halloween every night. Halloween every year there is a massive
Yeah.
party, but it's never really any issues. There's people being sick in bags here and there, or there's
Yeah.
the occasional pervert, which happens all the time in Japan.
Yeah. I was
But
gonna say it's like culture more or less. Sometimes.
no, definitely not. It's just perverts. But it's
Oh, sorry.
it's a bigger problem there. What?
Megan bought an iPhone in Japan because theirs broke when we were out there, so she bought one from Japan.
Oh yeah.
But now her iPhone makes a camera noise every time it's on because
'cause
in Japan
you
they
can't turn it
have to have the setting on like loud.
Yeah. It's because of
So
perverts.
if she's like, if she's just Snapchatting or whatever in the hall, she's taking, she can't turn it off. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's a requirement there because there's so many people who just try and sneak one up your skirt and stuff. It's ridiculous.
You must think right for your fat fanny on the.
Yeah, I should have walked around with a big gaper. Like, come on, lads, take a picture.
I love the way in England fanny means like your vagina.
Oh yeah,
vagina.
for you American folks, because we have a few American listeners. Just so you
Yeah.
know, we're not talking about our backsides. We're talking about our front bits. If we were ladies.
What TikTok will call a WAP? I've learned that this week.
WAP?
WAP. It's
What?
that song from I don't know who sings it. And it's up, break it up. That's a wet ass.
I don't know what
Lady
song.
Place.
Was that a
You've
song?
never heard the WAP song?
Come
It's
on,
all
look
over
at me.
TikTok. Oh, it's basically a girl singing about how moist. I don't know how to explain this to my own brother.
I said a
How
lot worse last week.
she's very happy with the situation.
She's happy with the current situation
male,
she's in.
Yeah.
She's enjoying the.
She basically said
eco-culture
it's like
developing.
a freshly pot of macaroni. I think she said or something. It was something. There's lots of all like get a mop
Macaroni?
and bucket because I'm coming or something. It was
Macaroni.
yeah. It's on.
That's
Yeah,
that's a sign of a yeast infection. You don't want macaroni.
like a
That's
paintbrush
yellow.
in a paintbrush in a paint pot. We call it a whap.
Like a freshly toothbrushed mouth. No, we yeah. So Shibuya anyway. Yeah, what the hell are we even talking about now?
I've no idea.
Anyway, yeah, my week's going all right. Yeah, so the spider. We're talking about a spider.
Oh yeah, that's. I wonder how many tangents we go off on these subjects.
I'll tell you
like,
what, it was a few today. Your camera cocking up messed me up a bit, and I was like,
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, so the spider.
Talking of spiders, I was lying in bed. Spider ran across my chest.
All right.
Me and Lucy jumped out of bed like ridiculous because in the shadow, because the telly was on. I've seen it, and in my head it was about 10 foot tall. Obviously, it was only a tiny spider, but it ran across my chest. We jumped out of bed, and then we took about an hour at 2 o'clock in the morning to try and like unpeel all the bedding to see where it was. And I can't find it anywhere. Literally can't find it
He's
anywhere.
gone, man.
I'm
Spiders don't
terrified. Yeah, it's horrible. Like, don't like them.
Nah, spiders
Not
are
for me.
fine. I don't mind them at all. But there was one the other day causing problems. Like I know we got the one on the projector that's gone now. It just sort of blew away at some point. But yeah, we have like one of those doorbells with a camera on it, and it tells you when somebody's walked past it. And one of my biggest nightmares is waking up in the morning and seeing a notification, because I go to sleep at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So anyone near your front door between 2 and like 7, you don't want there. Yeah. And I woke up the other day to a bloody ring alert. It's like, oh fuck. It's like, am I going to go downstairs and see that the door's buggered or the back door's buggered in or something?
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to see. So I opened the notification and watched the video because it recorded a little clip.
Yeah.
There's a bloody spider on the camera. You see this little leg doing this, like, you bastard. So yeah, 3 in the morning, the spider's like, I'm going to get comfy.
Only you can get trolled by a spider.
Yeah,
Literally,
exactly.
it's only you.
So spider's trying to breach my security. Luckily, it didn't cause major issues. There was no police called, but still, that annoyed the shit out of me. Oh, by the way, speaking of spiders and animals and creatures and whatnot, I'm going on my first day trip since forever tomorrow. I'm going to the zoo.
Nice. The zoo's the best place in the world.
Well, yeah, I'm going to Chester Zoo because it's massive, big, open.
Yeah.
You can't really be close to people unless you really want to, and I
Chester
really
Zoo
don't
is
want to.
an amazing zoo as well. I absolutely love Chester Zoo.
And as a charity, they're one of my favourites ever, hands
Yeah,
down.
for sure. Yeah.
I've always loved Chester Zoo, and we're going to the Oakfield Manor. They have like a restaurant there. And
It's back open now. Is it?
It's back open, but it's booking only, so you have to book in advance, and it's all socially distanced and whatnot. So we're like, you know what? We haven't been out since March. We're fully safe. We wear masks. We keep our distance. We hate people who don't. So we're definitely on the right side of the track. Hopefully, other people will be. And they're doing like temp checks and stuff when you go in. So it's fully up to the up to snuff.
Standards.
Yeah. So we're going there tomorrow, and I just can't wait.
Nice.
It's going to be a nice walk around. Hopefully, hopefully I don't just get pissed off by people with the stick in the noses out and I have to start punching.
Well, me and Lucy went to the zoo last week for her birthday, Doncaster Zoo.
Yeah.
And because it was the first time we've been out properly since everything, and we sort of made a decision of like, obviously we're really careful and stuff, but and we've been keeping our masks on religiously, and Lucy works in vulnerable people day to day, so we've got to be extra careful.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't see an end to this pandemic, unfortunately, for a very long time. So we've got to get back to some sort of normality.
Exactly.
And it was a birthday. Yeah, safely. Yeah. So just common sense, basically. And plus, I don't want to get 2 meters away from people anyway. Just leave me alone.
Yeah,
like,
that's
just
exactly.
get back.
Nothing has changed in my life. I'm as equally distant as I've always been. I've always disliked people. And I've never stayed in contact if possible.
For you to tell them to get away.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm actually in contact with people more now than I was beforehand, because I have to see people sometimes. Not like in person, but I mean, like, you get a delivery or sending you guys messages, seeing how everyone is or whatever. In the past, I'd forget for months. Not intentionally, but it's not like I don't want to speak to people, but it's like I live sort of hour by hour. So
absolutely, yeah.
Like before I know it, it's been 6 months and I've not checked in on Nan, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, like, I'm the same. Yeah,
so,
not that we don't speak to our Nan. I feel like we just put a bad advert for it.
I do speak to Nan. I spoke to her last week.
Yeah,
exactly. It was never 6 months. I'm just saying, exaggeration for the comedic effect.
Last time I spoke to me Nan, she was like, "Oh, it's been so awkward." I think you rang her a few days before I rang her.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, normally he rings me on his work break. I wonder if he's gone outside and like rang me on his lunch hour like he normally does." And I was like, "He's working from home now. Like,
Yeah,
he's still in the house."
walking around my
like.
kitchen. I say walking around. My kitchen's big enough to literally rotate in a circle. But yeah, so you went to the zoo, and how was it?
Oh
Was it
yeah, I
good?
went to the zoo. One thing that baffled me, and I
Yeah.
couldn't get my head around it, is how some of the animals are real. Like I don't understand how I don't. So say if I give
Okay,
you a
well,
pen and
mummy
paper,
animal meets daddy animal, and they make very fun time animal, and it creates little animal.
a WAP. That's what it is. A WAP.
Animalistic WAP factory.
Oh, giraffe WAP. Right. Anyway,
You know, giraffes are born by dropping on their head, much like you.
yeah. Basically, giraffes must have CP because that's
I'm
that's
guessing
what
so. They,
happened
they
to me.
walk like
But,
it
yeah.
for a bit, anyway. Um, but yeah, sorry. So yes, what were you
So
baffled by?
say
Animals
if
that
you were
exist?
like an alien, right? Say if
Yes.
you were from another planet, or you just woke up from a coma and you've never seen an animal, and I drawn you a picture
Yes,
of a giraffe and
Yeah.
a unicorn, which one would you think's real?
you got a point. You know, yeah. There's
Like
some,
some of them animals,
there's some weird
like
shit.
like
a
Lucy's
tapir.
favorite animal in the whole zoo. Bearing in mind, this animals from all over the world was the armadillo. Like she just loved the armadillos.
Armadillos are great, man. They're little tanks.
They have like little tracks they run around, and we watching
Yeah.
them for ages running around these little tracks. But I'm thinking, how is that's an animal with actual body armor
It's just
on
a
the
woodlouse with
outside?
legs.
Like, how is that a real thing? Like, it baffles me how it's a real thing.
No, I know what you mean. It does make
Like,
sense.
You look at the size of an elephant. How? Like, how is that? How are we not dead by having them on the planet?
Yeah.
I don't understand how
But
this
just
works.
think about the fact that dinosaurs were bigger. Like a lot of dinosaurs
Yeah.
were bigger. A lot of insects were bigger back then. You know,
Imagine. Do you remember going into Liverpool Museum and they had that big, massive crab in the doorway? I don't know if you've
yeah,
seen
the
it.
big Atlantic spider crab.
I remember getting told John West caught it back in the day, but I don't think it was John West. I think he just because he was tuna fishing.
Maybe. Caught the
But yeah, I
whole
don't know how these animals are real. And the giraffes were crossing. They crossed like a tiny little footpath to get to the
that's
food.
cool.
And it's like a bit of it. And we were just happened to be there right at the front when it was happening. And a
They're the
giraffe
best
walked
moments.
past me, probably like 6 foot in front of me. A giraffe.
Yeah.
And I was looking up, thinking, how is that a real thing?
Yeah, why isn't it
Like
trying to kill me?
how is that an actual? I feel like I'm on drugs. How are these things following this woman for a bit of food? They
Yeah.
could literally kill her. Like she could be the food. That thing can reach up trees, like God knows how high. Like
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
understand how that's a real thing, but it is apparently.
Have you ever seen how giraffes fight?
Is they butt each other?
Yeah, they just fight like Geordies. They're just swinging necks. Just conk,
Like
left, right, and
Geordie.
centre. They are.
Do
And
you
the
know
sound
Ed's
it makes
trivia
is
for
so
you?
painful sounding.
Oh, animal fights on David Attenborough documentaries the worst bit.
Yeah.
Start whacking each other. I think, geez, you need a ref in there. Should be like a buffalo ref. Just whoa, it's enough. That's enough.
Buffalo ref.
Buffalo ref.
No matter what animals are fighting, get a buffalo involved.
Do you
He
reckon it'd
just
be a
stands in
zebra
the
because
middle
he's
and
got the
waits.
stripes on still? And it should just be a zebra.
Maybe, yeah. That'd be a good idea. He's already wearing the uniform.
Here's a trivia for you. What's a group of giraffes called?
A murder.
No, that's crows.
I know, but they might be using.
Oh, a tower of giraffes.
Makes sense. They're big bastards.
I'm brainy me, you know, Chris. You know.
Yeah, you could be.
Like-
You could also be spouting bollocks for all we know. What do you call a collection of Sandras? A Susan. You know, it's.
Susan.
I've not googled it. Could be true. Could be false. I'm not telling you either way.
By the time this goes out, we can't Google it. So if you're listening now, it's probably not a tower. Probably the
You should
short.
tweet us.
something like that.
Is a gaggle of Sandras called? I've just called him a gaggle. Is a group of Sandras called a Susan?
Is a gang of Karens called twats? No. Oh, that's one thing that's dead annoying me. And I know we have American listeners, and I love you all immensely. But the word is twat, not twat.
Oh yeah, twat.
Like, please stop
that
it.
bugs
Like,
the hell out of me as well.
Yeah,
so-
I was listening to some podcasts, and yeah,
What a
please just say
twat.
twat. Yeah, twat.
So,
like,
yeah.
no.
Attention, American listeners. I hope you're listening well
Yeah.
and clear. It's twat. It's scone. It's
Yeah.
It's what are the words?
Aluminum.
It's well. To be fair, they do spell it differently as well. So it is aluminum.
Oh,
Ours
yeah,
is
I'll give you that.
spelled aluminium. Theirs is spelled aluminum.
Aluminium.
You can't even say one. Aluminium.
Oh, oregano. That's one
Oh,
I
yeah.
get to me as well.
It's
Oregano.
Yeah.
Craig.
Also, it's basil.
Craig,
Oh, Craig's the
Craig.
worst.
Please say Craig.
Craig.
Please say Craig.
Craig.
Please, Americans, please.
Craig Ferguson, not Craig. He was never Craig.
Yeah, Craig. What is a Craig?
And Basil,
But anyway,
not Basil.
we love Americans.
We do love
We love America
We're
as
just
much as we
spouting
can.
nonsense.
America's one of my favourite countries I've been to. I don't know about you, but it's one of my favourite countries
Well,
I've
I
ever
only
been
went.
to.
I only went to Disney when I went to America, so yes. And I've only been to 3
Americans
countries.
are like
So
The
it's top
people
three.
are really nice, but they're like different. They're so different than English people as well.
It
They're
was
like
kind of
very,
scary
like,
when I was there.
they're like really like they come across a bit intimidating because they're so nice.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize till I was there just how different each state is. Like, because
Absolutely,
I was
yeah.
in Disney, people from all over the country go there, so I
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
see people from all over the place. And I
Yeah.
tell you what, there's some differences, man. Some people were really
Yeah.
nice, some were arrogant pricks.
Yeah.
Like really, and I'm pretty sure I saw at least 3 divorces happen. And I wish that was a joke, but man, some kids are going to be scarred from that holiday.
Go to Disney and you come
Honestly,
back one parent.
There's at least, especially there's ones that we saw in Toy Story Land outside the toilets. There was a family just screaming at each other, like the wife and the husband, and
Yeah.
she was literally like, she said something along the lines of, "No, fuck you, I'm sick of your shit, we're done." And like, you're in Disney and you're screaming that at the top of your lungs, you're having a bad day.
You just know they've got on that holding like this is going to make or break us, and then you just see which way.
And the
it's
answer
gone.
was break, unfortunately.
We've paid for the deposit. We're going.
Yeah, yeah, they've actually decided to break up the week before. They're like, just keep
I remember,
keep it with the kids.
Last time I went to Vegas, there was a cowboy convention on, like in the building next to where we were playing.
Do you buy them?
So there was like legit cowboys running around. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. We're sitting in the hotel, and they had like a rodeo on the telly
Right.
in the bar there.
Yeah.
There's loads of different places. But there was I know what rodeo is, bull riding and stuff. But there was one where they were basically on the back of a bull, and there was a baby bull just bolted it out the thing, and they've got to lasso it, but jump on the bull from the other bull.
Right.
They jump on top of it as it's
Jeez.
moving. And I was sitting there, like, and then I looked around. I was just surrounded by like cowboys at the bar. I was on my own. I just went, "Listen, lads, what is this all about?" And he went, "Howdy, partner." I was like, "Whoa, sorry."
Everybody spoke to Woody.
He was like, he had a big cowboy hat on, Stetson, the lot.
Wow.
And he was explaining to me like it's a part of the sport, like they've got to do it as quick as he can,
Yeah.
and like it's like technique points and stuff. And they were dead nice. And we went to inside the hotels in America, they're so big, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, everything was
the other-
ginormous.
Yeah, it's like England but on like steroids.
Yeah.
It's like it's mad.
Well,
Like
it's so
their
big, there's so
motorways
much
got
space
mad
between
lanes on.
everything.
Yeah, we went to a bar inside the hotel,
Yeah.
and I wasn't drinking because I was playing, but we sat in the bar, me and Will, and they had karaoke on, so they were singing all karaoke, and there was people line dancing and stuff because the cowboys were, and they were doing like mad line dances and stuff.
Right.
And I said to Will, "You know what? Well, fuck it, I'm in Vegas. I'm gonna jump on the karaoke." And I thought, "You went,
You've
what?
got
You've
to.
not had a drink?" And I said, "I don't need a drink. I'm in Vegas.
Yeah,
Like, what? I'm
exactly.
gonna be on the karaoke."
You've got the energy.
So I get on the karaoke and I start singing. I was just singing "Sweet Caroline." I was giving it.
Oh,
giving
you
it
went for
some.
you went for Neil Diamond, of all
Yeah, well,
things to do in
and-
Vegas.
Well, I tried to go for like Wonderwall, and you're like, I don't know what that is, but I was like, just didn't have it. So I went for like, but then I was singing, and it was going sha la la la. I was not Sweet Caroline, is it? What's that song? La 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 di da,
Oh,
di da.
yeah. I know
Din,
you
din,
mean-
din,
yeah,
din. Brown Eyed Girl. That's what I
that's
was
it.
singing.
Brown Eyed Girl. Thank you.
So I was singing Brown Eyed Girl.
Yes.
So I've given it the big one. There's a bar and everyone's going, woo! Like I was always singing it. It was fucking brilliant. But then as it gets to the chorus, literally, I'm not even joking, about 10 people got up and started line dancing whilst I'm singing a song to like a routine.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm singing like I'm in some sort of stage. They're
Yeah.
giving it a routine. Everyone's whipping and cheering. I felt like an absolute boss. Like
Wow.
honestly,
That sounds amazing.
the best
mate.
things going.
Yeah, that sounds
But
fantastic.
he must have been like a local celebrity or in the country music world. He must have been a big fella, like because he came on the karaoke and everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's on the karaoke!"
Right.
And because he was sitting at the bar and everyone was going up to him saying, "Get on, Gran." He was going, "No, I'm all right. So he jumped on and he started belting out some tunes. I was like, I feel like I'm in some sort of film. Like it just didn't seem like a
Yeah,
real
it
situation.
is a
I was in.
surreal thing, isn't it?
Like I'm a fat wheelchair scouse lad in the middle of Vegas, listening to a cowboy singer singing some tunes, and everyone's whooping and hollering.
Yeah.
It was just the most surreal thing.
Oh,
I looked
God.
at Will. I was like, Will, how have we ended up here? Like, how have we ended up in our careers?
Yeah.
Sitting in a bar in Vegas. Like, how has this happened? But yeah, it happened.
Life just finds a way of surprising you.
Yeah.
Every time you think this, you're done or you've had, you've seen enough for this month. It goes, nah, you know what? Wait a minute. Something else is
Absolutely.
coming.
It was like when I went to the Great Wall of China, and
Yeah.
we took about 4 hours getting there. I got on the wall and it was baking hot, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's good, but it's not great, is it? Like, it's not.
It's not
it's
worth
all right.
dying
Like,
for.
yeah. But what was more fascinating was we pulled up in a car park, and I'd been travelling along at this point, and there was a camel in the car park, like a proper
Camel?
full-on two-humped camel.
You wouldn't expect a
But
camel
I
in China,
thought-
would you?
Yeah, well, I was thinking, you don't have camels in China, so I said to my coach, not even a joke, I went, bloody hell, them two blokes in that suit must be boiling. And everyone started laughing, the bus started laughing, and I was like, what are you laughing at? They must be roasting his bacon. He went, it's a real camel. I was like, what? It's a real camel?
How good do you
So I
think the
said to
costumes are? You've bought stuff from China.
But I said to my coach, I was like, rather than pay for my entries to the Great Wall of China, can you pay for me to ride this camel?
Oh, that'd be cool.
And he was mad. He was like, we've paid for you to go and see the Great Wall of China, one of the seventh wonder of the world, and you want to sit on a camel? I was like, yeah, because I can see that on Google. I
Yeah,
can't
we
sit on
haven't
a
got
camel on
camels
Google.
in England.
It was like, I don't understand.
The,
I
the
didn't
only
get on a
camels
camel
in
in the end.
Sheffield are the nightclubs.
He got the ump. But yeah, so life's a mystery, more or less. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy.
To quote a famous American song, life is a highway. You've got to ride it all night long.
Oh, Ronan Keating. Life is a roller
we don't quote
coaster,
Ronan Keating on this
just
podcast.
gotta ride it.
No.
I need you. Oh.
No, we don't
So
do Ronan
don't
Keating.
fight
Hey,
One more time.
calm me down, cockle. We haven't got to the singing bit yet. You chill out.
Oh yeah.
Right, so let's we've been rambling a bit tonight.
Yeah, we
It's
have.
been a loose and easy goosey one, isn't it?
Like a whap. I need to stop saying whap. It's
You
stuck
do
in my
need to stop
vocabulary.
saying WAP. It just feels wrong. I don't even know the full meaning of it, but it feels wrong to hear you say it.
Whap whap.
So yeah. Anyway, Jack, what is bugging you this week other than the fact you just keep saying WAP?
Do you know what's bugging me? Right.
No, that's why I asked.
Right. It's called a segue, because I was
Oh.
trying to say. So I was thinking, if we do audio clips, I could say, you know what's bugging me, and then you.
Oh, like when you
cut
have
it
an
out.
interview and you've got to read.
Yes,
You've got to say
I'm
the
a
question
consummate
back.
professional. Whereas
You
you're
are,
just
media
like,
trained. Look at that.
yeah, to be fair, I had media training.
Yeah, see, there you
Yeah.
go. I knew it.
Anyway, not
So
for this
have I.
podcast. I felt like I was taking this podcast a bit too seriously.
No,
not
no,
for this
no.
podcast.
We've had different kinds of media training. Yours is like, don't say knob on the radio. Mine's like, don't tell them what game you're working on. You know, very different things. I could say knob on whatever radio station I want.
What if I tell them the game and like you say knob? That'd be easier.
Maybe. Anyway, get on with it. What's bugging you?
Yeah, sorry. Bugging me this week, and not just this week, but in general,
Right.
is in a nutshell, people keep your opinions to your fucking self.
Okay.
And if it doesn't involve you, leave it alone.
Right.
And this has really bugged me, right? Because, and it goes from like, I'm talking like prejudice, so you're talking disability, sexuality, race, all that stuff.
Yes.
But what does it matter to anyone else? This is what I can't get my head around is, who gives a flying shite whether you're shagging a bloke, a girl, whatever you want to do? If you fancy that person, you fancy that person.
Exactly.
And people like people. So why do we even have labels of like gay? Oh, I'm gay, you're straight, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have that?
There's
Why
a lot,
can't we
there's
just
a lot
like-
of labels these days.
But why can't you just be like, oh, Chris, I'm seeing someone. Oh, what's the name? Fucking Jeff. Oh,
Yeah.
sound. Let me crack on my life. Do
Sound,
you know
I
what I
hope
mean?
Jeff's nice. Yeah.
And then next week, I'm like, who's your partner? Oh, I'm back with Lucy or whatever. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Lucy, I've not left you for Jeff. I'm just letting you know. But like,
Hey, I've got Jeff's number, just in case.
but like, why is it a thing? I don't understand. And this ties into my idiot of the week as well a little bit, and I'll tell you that in a bit. But
Okay, yeah.
just literally, if you just stay in your own lane, like
Yeah.
as long as you're happy. And this can go with politics. If you don't vote for that party, then don't talk to the party if you don't want to get involved in arguments.
Yeah.
If you're on Twitter as well, don't troll people. Leave them alone. Just get on with your own life, will you? And if you don't
it's a
like,
good sentiment.
right, and this you can take this out of context. If you don't like cock, don't have a cock. If you like waps, have a wap.
Stop saying what.
That's all you want.
God.
Just basically, do what you want,
Yeah.
do who you want, and be happy.
Do what or who you want. I like it.
I feel I'm like a crippled Gandhi.
So was
Do what
Gandhi, I
you
think,
want.
wasn't he?
Do who you want. Get on with your life.
Yeah, there's somebody's gonna have a tattoo of that somewhere one day. To paraphrase Gandhi,
Yeah.
do who you want, knob or not. Yeah, fair enough. I know what you mean. I've always felt that way. That's why I've always been confused about like why people have a set thing they're going for. That's one thing that confuses me quite a bit these days. Is everyone's very particular about making sure that they do have a specific lane that they're in, and they've got
Yeah,
a specific
absolutely, yeah.
specific flag and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't understand that. Like personally, I'm one of the bi folks.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I think I'm technically pansexual, but I don't bother with all that stuff. I just know that if I like someone, I like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you've got one or not, or you're born with one or not, I don't care. If it's you I like, it's you I like.
Absolutely.
So
Like-
it doesn't bother me to dig into what that means. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't
Like,
care
for
which
me,
flag I
like-
should have.
if I was to identify, I'd be a straight male. Like
Yeah.
I'm a box on a straight male. But I can't tell you in 50 years' time if I meet a bloke and go, he's a nice lad.
Yeah.
And then we end up talking, and I'm not saying like I'm whatever, but who knows? Like
Exactly,
no one
you don't
knows
know.
what's going to happen in the future, do you? You just don't.
As they say,
It
they say,
baffles
love,
me. It
love is
really
love,
does baffle
innit?
me.
So, yeah, I know what you mean. It's So what's
But that
bugging
can
you
go
is-
with like race and stuff as well, and this to go with disability. I know I'm disabled, but like you go with anything.
Yeah.
If it's different, then what's he gonna do with you? Like, who cares if they're black, white? Who literally? I don't. It doesn't even register sometimes.
Yeah.
And I mean that's why the Black Lives Matter stuff really hit me quite hard.
Yeah, because
because
you realise
although
it
I'm-
exists
Yeah.
almost.
Although I'm a white male, I literally don't see a difference at all. I'm not saying that's bad. I literally don't see. I think it's because me and you are well travelled, and we just don't see it is a thing.
Yeah.
But to see someone who's being ostracised and prejudiced for something that they can't control one bit,
Yeah. And
they can't control the pigment of their skin.
And I know you're not just like virtue signaling or whatever people on
Yeah,
Twitter say.
but I
Just
don't. I
being
just literally doesn't. But it just doesn't go in my head. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't get it. And
Exactly.
people who say like all lives matter. Yeah, we know all lives matter, but Black Lives Matter at the moment because they're the ones who are struggling. Do you know what I mean?
I think the whole point of that was to say that their lives also matter.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
exactly.
like,
And it's a given that all lives matter.
Yeah,
It's an
of course.
absolute given. We
human
all know
life
that.
matters.
Yeah. And I had to delete one of our family members off Facebook because he was
Right.
sharing, white lives matter. Not shut up.
Yeah.
I know everyone's life matters. I'm not saying that I want the whole world to be black. I'm not saying I want the whole world to be white. I just want the world to be the world.
Yeah.
And at the moment, black people are going through a really terrible time where everyone's
exactly,
going
yeah.
and they want change.
Yeah.
And at the moment, black lives do matter because without them mattering, no one matters.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I
the
look at it
point.
anyway.
Yeah, it's equal or nothing.
So everyone knows they matter. So basically, where I'm going with this is just get on with your own shit. And
Yeah.
if it's not your shit, don't deal with it.
Exactly. I like that. I like the little positive spin at the end. I always like, one of my favourite things about our podcast, Jack.
Yeah.
I quite like the contrast between our points usually.
Mm.
Where you'll have sometimes you'll have this just the deepest thing. And then you'll say to me, so Chris, what's bugging you?
Yeah.
Right? Which you're going to say any second now.
Oh, wait. Chris, what's bugging you, my brother?
I'm fed up of there being no good courier services. This is true. For years, it's fucked me off. Like, you can't pick what courier service you use when you buy something, right? You buy it,
Yeah.
whatever company the company you bought from use, that's who they're using, whether it's DPD or the Royal Mail or FedEx or whoever. They
Yeah.
pick who it is and you get them. But every single one of those fuck slices, in the past, I've truly fucked us over with packages.
Yeah.
Every time. And it's like, I can do nothing about this.
Yeah.
There was one, we bought a SodaStream years ago.
Yeah.
And SodaStream's an American company, and we had to get we bought like a bunch of different syrups from the website, but it turns out the website was in America, so
Okay.
they had to ship them over in this big old heavy box, and I think it was ATC or some stupid. It's a place in Liverpool where they have a depot, and they fucked us over like 4 times for delivering it for starters, and we finally said to them, look, can we come to the warehouse and pick it up, because we're so sick of this.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, like, come to the depot in Liverpool. It'll be there. So
Yeah.
we had to find it in the arse end of nowhere. I think it was in Huyton.
Oh, God.
Yeah, pretty much where I took you once. It was round the corner from there. And yeah, so we went there, and the guy's like, here's your parcel. And it looked like he'd kicked it from America. It was completely fucked. It was open, it was torn, it was battered. Luckily, it's
Oh
all
my
just bottles of like, it's quite solid bottles of like syrup.
Yeah.
So they're pretty solid, but
Yeah.
like, one of them was out of date, and it's like, fuck's sake, can I not just have something? And then
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I was just reminded of this the other day because we've been getting HelloFresh.
Oh, yeah.
They use DPD to deliver stuff, which
Yeah.
they're very hit and miss. They're normally okay, but sometimes they're just
Yeah.
a sack of dicks. It depends who you got delivering your stuff. And Jack from DPD, if you're listening, you're a knob, because it was Jack this week apparently, according to my text message. And it looked like he'd been practicing his elbow drops on it. 'Cause this box was just like fully caved in the top. I'm like, I've got food in it. It says all over it. It couldn't be clearer that there's food in it. It says in it, massive writing, food delivery, ring the doorbell, don't leave it alone. All this stuff like on it, for clear instructions from HelloFresh, where they've done everything they can to tell these idiots in the vans what to do with this thing. I was like, what? Why? How has this even happened? I don't get how this has happened.
Yeah.
Luckily, everything was okay inside it, but I was so annoyed because it's like, I don't care if everything is okay. The fact that it happened bugs me.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
The fact that we can't choose a courier service, or there
Yeah.
not a good one to choose. Like Royal Mail are normally pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah.
If it's just a bog standard post, or like you get like an Amazon parcel,
Yeah,
it's
easy
normally
enough,
Royal
yeah.
Mail. They're fine.
Absolutely.
But yeah, whenever we've used any other company, they usually
Yeah.
fuck us over pretty badly.
I'm completely with you on that because, like, this week we bought a new tower fan.
Oh yeah,
Because I don't know whether you know this, but you know that old fan you used to have in your bedroom, that silver one?
is that where that went? Have you got that?
I robbed that about
You shit
10
like
years
a.
ago when you moved
I've
out.
been wondering where that was.
So it's in Sheffield. Like, I've been using it since you moved out.
That's
so
gonna
it's
have
in,
so many farts in that.
yeah, it's full of dust. Like, I don't know how we were breathing in the same
It's
room
right.
as it
To be
going.
fair, we're using Charlie's brother's old fan from his old
Nice.
bedroom, so we've got a similar level of thing going on. But yeah, I was
So we
wondering
bought
where that fan went.
Yeah, we bought a new fan from Amazon this week, and
Yeah.
it turned up. And on the box, it's got a picture of a fan. It just had my address on the front,
Right.
and it said this way up, and there's a picture of the fan. The driver gave it to me upside down. What are you doing? Like, you can see that's got an arrow, and you can see the fan. They've got the writing on it as well. What are you doing? Like, what? I don't understand how you do it.
It's not even like even if you can't read or whatever, there's an arrow. You know,
Absolutely, yeah.
no arrow
But
points
I
down in
wonder-
a parcel.
Like, if there's any delivery drivers listening, wherever you are in the world, do you look at a parcel and just go, "I'd love to kick that," like, or
I
"I'd
am
love to
curious
just throw
about
that about," or
Yeah, it's like when you see
Or
the video
do you-
clips of them in America, like FedEx and stuff.
Yeah,
just
just
volley it
chuck it
over
about.
fences. I saw
And
a
it's
guy
the
the
same
other
with
week
like
just throw a
baggage on an
TV.
aeroplane.
Yeah,
He just chucked it.
yeah. Honestly, he put it. It just he didn't even bother opening the gate. He just threw it over the wall. It's a TV.
Yeah.
It's like there's the. Yeah, it might have a bit of polystyrene in it,
Yeah, it
but that's
doesn't count,
probably
yeah.
fucked.
I wonder if it's a bit like, oh, it's not my item, or I don't like that person.
I think that's
I'm
it.
just-
They just-
I'm generally curious
Just don't
about
care.
what the
Some people
what
just
to
switch
think.
off though. Like I used to work with people in the cinema like that who couldn't give less of a fuck about their job.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
literally, they could, I never saw this happen, but they had the mentality where they could just like drop your popcorn, brush it back in, and
Yeah.
give you it. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah, I
kind
know
of
what you mean.
that kind of. I couldn't care
Yeah.
less. I'm getting paid by the hour. I'm here for an hour. Whatever happens
Yeah.
during that hour, I don't care.
Absolutely,
You know?
yeah.
And so it's probably just the case of that, really. Same
Yeah.
thing day in day out. You get bored. So maybe
Yeah.
it's a lack of passion.
Talking of deliveries, I've made an absolute error as well. So I was renewing my contract with my Tails and sponsor. It was Japanese originally, but I go to the European hub, which is in Germany. So I sent him my email of all my kit I need for this year, and it
Yeah.
comes in a delivery. So the guy said, we're really busy at the moment. It'll be a few weeks till it turns up. So he thought, you know what? I'm trying to lose weight. I'm going to get my kit size smaller. Thought, you know what? I've got 3 weeks. yet, I'm
Target
gonna buy
clothes,
it.
baby.
Absolutely. So that's what I did. So all
Yeah.
my kit for next year is a size smaller than what it was last year. Result, I thought I'm going to fit in that 3 weeks time. Got an email 2 days ago. I'll be here by Friday. so like I'm really struggling.
So he's not. Oh, just trying to get.
So if
rid of
anyone
some-
sees a picture of me on social media looking like a sausage, like because my kit don't fit.
Mate,
it's
you,
just
mate,
2
you better
weeks
get
early.
doubling your training for this next couple of weeks. Get those titties down. Yeah, that's not good, is it?
Yeah, it's not ideal. It was good service, but I didn't realise it was going to be that
It's
quick.
great service, yeah, but
Yeah.
you just don't want it sometimes. Well, that's
The
good.
box
So,
weighs 8k, so I hope the driver's got a few
8K?
bit muscle on him to it. Yeah, so
Jesus.
the 8k of stuff coming. Yeah.
saying that, my couch the other day when it arrived in 4 boxes, and
Yeah.
combined was 100k.
Oh wow.
So I was like, Jesus! It took 2 guys to take it to my door, and then I had to slide it across my living room. Luckily, it's not carpeted because I'd probably be dead. Right, so Jack, my boy,
Yes.
that leads us on to who is your idiot of the week. We have to start the cupcake. That is the shit cupcake with the
Shit
gross,
cupcake.
gross,
at the
ridiculous, shitty bit at the bottom. I've got the hiccups.
And these
excuse me.
people are the shittest of people.
Okay.
And as I said, I have mentioned it just before, but it really bugged me, because it was on. I seen it on Twitter, and basically, my idiot of the week is trolls.
Yes.
Trolls or people who've got ridiculous opinions that they know are stupid opinions. You just do it anyway. So Tony Bellew's a Scouse boxer. He's retired now, and he's done loads of stuff on TV. I've never met him, but he seems like a nice lad.
Yeah.
He just put a tweet up saying, "Congratulations to my brother, getting married today to his husband Steve. Congratulations."
Yeah.
The amount of abuse that tweet got from people, homophobic knobheads. So, and he put a tweet out, and a few hours later he was like, "It's really sad to see that the world hasn't changed." He said, "We grew up as young black kids."
Yeah.
And he got bullied back then for being gay and black as well. And think, what do people do? It goes more than being an idiot of the week. Do you know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah, of course, it's an idiot of a lifetime. Like,
It's
it makes no
absolutely
sense.
stupid. And I just want to say, on this tiny platform that we have, congratulations to Tony Bradley's brother on his wedding.
Yeah,
And
congratulations.
that's all that needs saying. That's all that needs saying.
Marry who you want to marry.
Absolutely. As long as it's not animals and you're not Keith Lard from Phoenix Night shagging dogs. Just apart from that.
Or Bert
I did
Kreischer.
see a video, I don't know if you've seen it on the internet, of a guy that loved balloons.
Dog shagging.
Bit odd.
Oh, right, okay.
He wasn't...
I was wondering what you're talking about. I've never seen videos of that, no.
Our Tom shared it about a guy who...
I don't follow Tom anymore.
It was... he was enjoying balloons. Anyway, but yeah, so just keep yourself to yourself and just be happy for other people. Just because your sad, pathetic life is shit, don't shit on other people's life.
Exactly.
Basically.
Just improve your life. That's it. Look inwards instead of outwards. That's all you got to do.
Absolutely. And a good advice that I got in my media training is, if you wouldn't post after your neighbour's letterbox, you shouldn't post on the internet.
To be fair,
that was
fucking
literally
hate one of my neighbours, so I'd post a dog tape to it right now. But I know what you're saying.
So if you wouldn't
if you didn't want the repercussions,
put it around your neighbourhood, don't put it on the internet.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to one of the best boxers in the world.
Yeah, of all people
he
to
would
offend,
kill you if he got
boxer.
hold of you.
Yeah.
And like the bit of driving I've been doing now, I find Twitter trolls and in general social media, it's a bit like road rage.
Yes.
So if you think about it, if you're in a car, you can shout whatever abuse you want because you're in a car and you can speed off. It's a bit like the internet. There's no sort of name on the internet.
True.
So it's exactly the same as road rage on the internet.
Yes. If they got in your car, you change your tune.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there needs to be some kind of... Well, there's that problem where people want, like... Some people want a kind of almost like an identity tracking thing for online, so you can't be anonymous. But then other people are like, well, you can't do that. It's like a breach of privacy and stuff. I get both sides, but just common decency needs to become more common, and I don't get why it isn't.
If you see something on the internet and you don't like it, don't comment. If you like it, comment. There you go.
Well, it's like people who kick off about like religious stuff. Like again, we've got family members who I don't speak to, who are like, oh, fucking, Muslim this and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
Like you're complaining because your invisible friend is different to their invisible friend.
Exactly.
Like, what? That's like kicking off at your neighbour because their cat's a different colour to your cat.
Absolutely,
yeah. What does it matter? It truly doesn't matter. You never interact with them people. You never need to know what they're doing or who they're doing it with or talking to or whatever. Just go about your day. It doesn't change a goddamn thing.
But I don't understand, like, as you say, it's like choosing a football team. Like, what's it got to do with someone else's? So, like, we've all had banter, do you know what I mean? We all said, like, I don't like Everton and all that. But, like, I don't understand it. And the only interaction I've had with Muslim people, and I understand that I've not met every Muslim well, but they've been really, really, really nice to me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
most people are nice.
Really nice.
The problem is that we had such a media saturation of the negative stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
After all the events of the past and stuff like it's that becomes what people see and what people know. Yeah. Because before or 9/11 and stuff like that, for example, I was only young. 11 I think when it happened. So I didn't even know what a Muslim was. You know what I mean? Like I'd never. I think I might have heard the word once in RE, the same way I heard the word Sikh. I never met one. I never knew what it was. That was a lesson I didn't care about, so I didn't really listen much.
Absolutely,
So it's like that. But then obviously after all that stuff, it's in the news every day. It's all negative. It's all stuff about wars in Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan. That becomes the image that people have. But then the stupid people who haven't got a way of thinking for themselves are like, oh, evil, Muslims, evil. It's like, no, not even remotely true. I've met I've seen there's some Muslim comedians on the circuit that I've met and stuff like that. And it's not even like I say, hello, are you Muslim? You're just you find it afterwards in a passing comment, like, oh, cool, you never knew.
Absolutely,
And everybody is just people. Just accept it as they are.
Prime example, like we live in a block flat, and we don't know. We're friendly with everyone. We don't really know the neighbours. And when it was, I think it was Eid. Was it not long ago? Eid?
I don't know, mate.
I think it was Eid, and they give out gifts. And someone knocked on the door. It was a couple. They knocked on the door. Never seen him before, and he said, "I'm ever so sorry. We are Muslim. We're celebrating our holiday. Mm-hmm. We'd like to give people gifts." And I said, "Oh, thank you very much. Really appreciate it." It was a little balloon with a little bag full of celebrations in. Oh, and there was a rolled up tenner in it as well. Wow! And they had 10 of them and given round to people in the flats. And I thought, they were so respectful. They were like, "If you don't want to take it, we completely understand.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We just want you to have a nice day." And I was like, you know what? That is a positive message.
And they're the bad guys,
regardless. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you look at football fans, for instance. You look at the Liverpool Ultras, or whatever they're called. Knobheads. Fight about knobheads. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hooligans. that's sort of like religion, isn't it? There's a small
Yeah,
minority of
there's
people
always extremists in every sect
who are
of life.
using, because you look at them football fans, they don't even like football.
Yeah.
They just like violence,
Just like a
and that's
fight.
very similar to religion, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very similar to religion of
Exactly.
like, I feel like I'm on a tirade today, but it
Yeah,
really annoys
let's
me.
find the
Like,
happy again. We're here to find
Yeah.
the happy in life, not to berate the negative. But I know what you mean. Though. It's an important message. I just think
Yeah.
we need to cut it down a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's true. It's true. We need to get on with life. And again, my idiot of the week is a bit different. Again, also actually, we have mentioned mine earlier on a little bit, kind of.
Oh, nice.
My idiot of the week is U.S. Customs. The United States Customs and whatever they're called, the people at the airport.
Yeah.
They seized $398,000 worth of counterfeit AirPods, which weren't even remotely counterfeit AirPods. They were OnePlus Buds, which is a completely different brand, completely different phone.
Yeah.
It's a company called OnePlus. I'd never heard of, but apparently it's like Samsung, Apple. There's OnePlus now. I've had my phone for like 7 years, so I don't know the brands.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's OnePlus, and these are OnePlus Buds, which look kind of like AirPods, but they're not.
Yeah.
And they seized them because they thought they were counterfeit AirPods, even though it says nowhere on the boxes that this is by Apple,
Yeah.
this is an AirPod, none of that. And they even held a press conference gloating about it, of how they've seized this $398,000 worth of stuff. And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like there might be in a factory being like, look at all this fake Capra Sun we got. Like, that's Ribena.
Cordial.
It says Ribena right there.
Cordial.
Yeah, it's like it makes no sense whatsoever. So they're my idiots of the week.
Oh,
the
God, yeah. That's
people-
a valid idiot, to be fair.
But you're just thinking that person's a person in power.
Yeah.
And that went through people to get to a press conference.
Yeah,
No-
'cause so if
nobody
you
in the
look at
world can
box and
say-
go, that doesn't say Apple. Like,
Yeah. But like nobody in the world can say, I want to hold a press conference, and then they are holding
Yeah.
one. It always takes more than one person. And nobody there went, Jeff, this
yeah.
this isn't these aren't AirPods. They're definitely not counterfeit either. They're fully legit. But I don't know. It's like, how do you
It's
do
like
that?
stopping every ginger person going to an airport because it's not Ed Sheeran. Like, it's one of the...
What's your favourite song, Ed? Yeah,
Yeah, you're impersonating Ed Sheeran. What? I'm a blonde 14-year-old ginger girl. Like, why am I nowhere near Ed Sheeran?
It just doesn't make sense when people are stupid. The lesson this week is people are stupid.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, so we move on to your hero of the week, Jack the Delicious Icing atop the shit cupcake.
Yeah.
Who's your hero?
My hero this week is the music from the northwest of England. I know it's a very niche
Well,
music
there's a
taste,
beat.
but this comes from... So in training, we're in clusters at the moment. So usually we train as a group of 10, 12 people.
Mhm.
At the moment, we're in clusters of 4,
Yeah.
and we had different times. And our coach, Rushy, who I spoke about last week, he listens to the podcast. Big shout out, Rushy.
Yeah.
I would say he's the best GB coach. I'm not allowed. He's a very, very good coach.
He's a good lad.
He always says to me, when you mention in the podcast, why can't you say, like, oh, training's going great, Rushy's the best, all that? So I was like, all right.
There you go. Rushy's
Rushy,
the
you got
best.
your shout
I
out.
can
There
say
you
what
go,
I want.
mate. You got
Rushy,
your
you're the
shout
best.
out. So he's from like Manchester way, and obviously I'm Scouse from Liverpool. So
man.
we that's the one, yeah. And he put on Happy Mondays, and he had a Manchester playlist on of all the bands in Manchester.
Yeah.
And he was bouncing around, and he was showing us the Manchester Bop, which basically was bobbing your head about. Like,
Just take
and
a
he
lot
was-
of cocaine.
yeah, and he's telling stories about his brothers used to go to the Hacienda, back in the day in the 90s and all that sort of stuff. And then so when I was on the tram home, I thought, you know what, I'm going to find the Liverpool playlist and see you bands in Liverpool, and you obviously got like the Beatles and Frankie Goes to Hollywood and Dexys
Yeah, but then you got
Midnight
like the
Runners.
Lars and the Zootons and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You got Lars, you on the Wombats.
Yeah,
Massive
the
Wombats,
yeah.
and the best bands going.
Didn't you know the one? I didn't used to go to the Wombats with Josh.
Yeah, I've been twice.
Yeah,
Seen
they are.
Wombats
Yeah,
twice
I
live.
remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
See, there you go.
Unbelievable. I love the Wombats. And like
Yeah.
just the music in that sort of area of the world. I'm going to say this right now, that's quite controversial. The music from the northwest of England is much better than the music that London's ever produced. Big statement.
That is a very big statement, considering
Big
a lot of people go
statement.
to London to produce the music.
But I'm saying like London based from London.
like Amy
artists,
Winehouse and
orig-
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
But you
doubt
can
it.
go from like all your grime artists, and I like grime as well, like
Yeah.
your Stormzy's
It's a
a
very
lot.
specific genre, though, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you get it or you
But,
don't.
like-
There's no in between.
But even you look at like your Adele's, Amy Winehouse, or Ed Sheeran, all that from like London-y sort of
Yeah.
way, I would say Northwest better. Just put it out there.
Fair enough. To be fair,
Yeah.
it makes kind of sense because their influences would be the same things that you would have
Yeah.
grown up around. So
Absolutely,
you would feel the same kind of sense that they do. That
Yeah.
they're trying to
Yeah.
purvey in the songs.
Like
So-
the Beatles, I listened to Beatles songs that I'd never heard before. And dead catchy. Like ones that you'd never heard like today, really.
Yeah.
I've just found them on Spotify. And it's really catchy. Just like really, and you can tell they've been written on drugs, but like it's very catchy.
A lot of the best ones are. It's
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
I think it was Bill Hicks used to have a joke about people saying to him, "Well, you're going to go to hell." It's like, good. That's where the good music is. Because
It's very
like,
true, yeah.
Hendrix and all that, they'd be down there. You know, the amount of drugs and stuff all those people did. But yeah, like I know what you mean. It is a very kind of. It's not like an overly unique sound, but it is kind of a comfortable sound, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you mean. It's a good thing to do. So
Yeah.
I like that hero. It's good. Your hero
Yeah.
is an entire genre of music.
It's an entire genre and type of the.
It's
I
what?
can't speak today. It's the whole genre, and I'm trying to say continent of England, but it's not even.
You said cunt it a minute ago. So
Like, do you know what? I've made such an intellectual point in this podcast, and I've gone continent of England.
You've used all your
I've let
words
myself
for today, that's what
down
it
the
is.
whole podcast.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just you probably you have a
area.
limited number of words you can use a day.
Area of England. Oh, do you know when I was younger? Do you remember that time when I went for a week and didn't really say much because I thought that you had a limited amount of words in your life?
No, I do not.
I remember speaking to Mum about this really clearly. It must have been about 7 or 8. So I said to
Right.
my Mum, I'd made up this thing in my head that we'd only given like 10,000 words in our
Yeah.
life, and then when that happens, you die. So I just tried not to speak for a week because I thought I'm going to use my words up when I'm an adult.
Oh god, this is like Max and Paddy on Phoenix Nights. You only get a bucket and a half.
And my Mum said, well, because she's like, do you want your dinner? I was like, I was like, she said, what are you doing? I said, can't talk. And I wrote down because I'm running out of words. She went, you idiot, what are you talking about?
Oh man, you've given some strange challenges in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, fair enough.
Forward thinker.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe I don't know.
Who's your hero of the week this week?
My hero of the week, I don't have the name of, but somebody like there's a new growth in artificial intelligence at the moment on online and stuff. There's a bunch of programs that can do like deep fakes and stuff like that. And there's algorithms that can even fill in frames in pictures now. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And somebody has basically deep faked Gollum to do the Scatman rap. And it was amazing. So it's got like the Scatman video in the background and then just Gollum staring, like doing the whole thing. And it was great because it was perfectly synced up with it and stuff. And I've not heard Scatman for ages. And which I love Scatman.
I'm a scared man.
Yeah, it was great. So yeah, Gollum doing the Scatman. Go look at that on YouTube later. It's great.
I'm going to try that actually.
So that's my hero. So right, yes,
Nice.
we are running over a bit today. So do you want to? Do you feel like calling it there for tonight? We've had some.
I was going to say, should we call it a night? Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some longer
I think
discussions. We don't want to bore
found
people.
Yeah. I think with this podcast as well, we don't have to stick to
not at all. To like
segments and
agendas and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's free form
And-
sometimes. Shooting
And
shit.
whilst we're here as well, I just want to thank you to everyone who listened last week as well. We had
Yes.
the first guest.
Yes, it was
It was
a
a
great
cracking
time.
episode. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It
I
seemed
had a
to be
great
really
time.
well received. So, yeah, thank you, everyone.
It gave me a boost to keep going.
Absolutely.
It's
And anyone
definitely-
who wants any guest ideas, just send us a message and we'll try and get them on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if there's somebody you like or you like they'd be
Yeah.
funny on a podcast, tell us. We'll try and get
No
them on.
matter how ridiculous it is. Like, I'm going
No
to try and get the
matter.
Pope on, but I'm not sure we can get the Pope just yet.
I don't really
But
fancy speaking to him.
We'll try, yeah.
I mean, well, we could, I guess. But yeah,
Are they all called John Paul? Or have I made that up?
No,
Maybe that's a bit
totally made that
ignorant.
up. It's not ignorant.
Oh.
They take similar names. It's like kings here. We have like, George and whatnot. They take that name. It's not their name.
Oh, so they're not all called John Paul.
No, although I do know a John Paul.
Is he the Pope? Do you know the Pope?
He's not the Pope, but we did steal his fan. No, it's different. Yes, I think we're done. I think we're done for tonight, folks. I've run out of wind.
What's the question before we go? What's the question for
question
the
for next week.
listeners?
I don't know. Do you want me to think one, or are you thinking of one?
Did we not just? I can't remember what we said.
I think you said something. I've completely forgot what it was. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mixed drinks.
Yeah,
But it was kind of shit, wasn't it? So we shut it down.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to go with is, what is your favourite ornament? Have you got any ornaments in your house? Have you got anything strange on your wall? Paintings? Anything that makes your life a bit happier having it in the house?
What's your favourite
That makes
trinket?
sense. Yeah,
Like
trinket. But for
trinket,
me, like, I've
collectible.
got a...
Right, don't spoil it.
I'm looking at a vase of multicoloured flowers that my mum got Lucy for her birthday,
Okay,
so
there
that's
you
where
go.
I've got that idea from.
Yeah,
But like, I'm
like
talking
that.
about what weird stuff you got in your house that makes your house unique. That's the
Okay.
question.
I've done a full video on that for me. Jesus Christ.
I was going to say, your house is literally like the inside of a Japanese brain. That looks.
Just overworked and sleepy. No. So yeah, folks, I think that's us for this week. Sorry, it's been a bit of a weird
That's
one.
us, yeah.
I'm knackered. I'm knackered now. It's drained me. It's been a good one though. It's been a very good conversation.
Yeah,
It's not always super
absolutely.
funny. We're not always, on the humour train, which is fine.
It's
Sometimes we
an
can be
outlet.
more.
That's what it is.
It's an outlet, exactly. But
an
yeah,
outlet.
folks, if you've got anybody who you want on the podcast, let us know. We'll try
Yeah.
and get them on. Or you can contact them yourselves. Tweet at your favourite person. Say, hey, arsehole, get on Hunting for Funny.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Speaking of which, on Twitter, we don't have that many followers. So go to Twitter. If you have a Twitter
Yeah.
account, just search at Hunting for Funny and follow us. You'll see posts about the podcast. You'll see clips from the podcast sometimes. You'll see
Yeah.
questions for next week, so you get a bit of advance notice. And a bunch of different stuff. I retweet quite often on it as well. From Have a Word podcast and that kind of stuff. If they tweet stuff, I usually retweet.
Here's an idea. Do you know
Yes.
if you're listening to the podcast and you want to come on the podcast, just send us a message. Why not? Why can't we just have
Maybe. Yeah.
people who listen on? So just send us a message and we'll see what we can do.
See what we can do.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So that's it for this week from us. So send us any suggestions or comments or any of your trinkets in your house that you want to show us.
Yeah.
To our social medias, we're Hunting for Funny on all platforms. Or you can send us an email, which is huntingforfunny@gmail.com. Or you can comment below if you're watching on YouTube. It's dead easy. If you're listening on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast, do us a favour. Give us a nice juicy 5-star rating and a little review if you want to. We've got some nice reviews so far, and I'd like to see them keep on coming. So thanks a lot for listening, folks. We will see all your lovely people next week. Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.